Our bodies are a projection of our soul via the DNA picking up our soul energy from the cosmos in the form of light as an antenna that then builds our bodies according to that data. Our DNA helix coils into a sphere resembling a magnetic torus inside of a sphere that all magnets are. The DNA is an antenna that receives the light. The light carries our soul's information and builds the structure of that energy. White genetics are important for humanity and should be maintained. We are the race of God. His covenant was made with us. Only white people with certain genetic traits can be saved. Salvation is not by faith, as it were. It is a genetic imprint of how your soul can grow as a being. I'm not entirely convinced everybody has a soul. In fact, I think most people might just be NPCs. And I mean that in a literal way, not the meme NPC definition. I mean actual NPCs that have they're not even really alive. I'm not saying that's true, but that's a possibility I hold in my mind. There are many people out there that aren't actually viable life forms. They're just placeholder humans. And only a few of us, or only some of us, have actual living souls that are growing. And that the NPC humans are just facilitating that growth in various ways. Genetic salvation is what is meant by biblical predestination. Salvation is nothing we can change. It's already been set. It's already been done. God decided from the beginning who it was going to be, and he died for those people on the cross. He did not die for everyone. He just died for those particular people. In the modern world, we would say that that is a genetic selection. It is some genetic trait in us that allows our minds to be able to expand. Most people just don't have that. And of course, I'm talking about expansion towards God, the one God. Only Caucasians have this genetic marker. I'm not sure what to say that it is, only to compare it to other traits like blonde hair or blue eyes. It would be a trait that I would say only Caucasians have, but it would not be visible. It's something hidden in our DNA. But it allows for greater comprehension of the world sufficient for spiritual growth. Now, this happens after the point of awakening, the point of salvation, when your mind is open to new things. This imprint is strengthened with each successive incarnation. As we are reborn back into the earth each time, our growth is faster and stronger. We live for billions of years. Our souls are like particles that I described before, and we are embryonic in our current stage of humanity. We are still gestating in the cosmic womb. And we will be here until we are done. Then we will be born into the greater cosmos. And so I say this is basically when we become stars. As I said before, that stars are larger scale particles. In the soul version of this, stars are larger versions of our souls. Our souls are inside of us. They're not physically contained within us, but our being, the essence of our being is. I don't want to say that we are tethered to our greater soul out there in the cosmos and our bodies are just an extension. That is a thought. That's a theory people have had, that we are separate from our true soul, our true self, and we're just running in some kind of an external program image of ourselves in these bodies. I say that we are our soul. It's one and the same. This would be analogous to God outside the universe and Christ inside the universe. If you want to say that our soul is separate from our body. But it is separate, but I mean separate in spatial terms. But anyway, as we progress upward, eventually we are born into the greater cosmos, and this is where I say we become a star. That stars are souls. This process takes millions of years. Everything is made of frequency. As I said before, everything's made of light. Light is frequency. That includes particles, that includes people, that includes our souls, that includes the stars, that includes dimensions, which I haven't gotten to million dimensions yet. The point of singularity is the point of creation. And I said, I theorize that's at the center of the earth, but I don't hold to that. I have many theories. I have many different thoughts on different things. Some of them are conflicting, but I hold all these things to be possible in my mind. I'm not dogmatic about much of it. I'm really only dogmatic about things pertaining to Christ and God. Everything else is more theoretical, and I'm not going to say that these things are definitively the way things are, but it's where the Spirit has led me and the worldview the Spirit has led me to have over the course of my life. If you do not hold things to be possible that you do not believe, then you will never learn. If you just shut everything out that is not already part of your worldview, then you're never going to have any other worldview, which is to say you're never going to change or grow and learn. That's the whole point of human existence, is to change and grow and learn. If we're not growing, we are dead. We are not alive. To be spiritually alive is to spiritually grow. Stasis equals death. Stagnation is just a frozen existence. Long ago, I realized that the four elements are clearly not true elements. The philosophical elements, earth, water, air, and fire. I realized, even probably as a teenager, that the four philosophical elements are just analogous to the four states of matter: solid, liquid, gas, and plasma. That was just obvious to me as a kid. Another deeper level to that is that is symbolic of the soul's progression from solid matter to liquid to gas and to plasma. These are densities of reality, is what it became to me in my worldview at the time, say in my late teens, early 20s. These are densities of reality, that we're like in the physical reality. We need to go to the next one, a less dense version, a less dense dimension of reality. So the deeper you go in dimensions, the lower dimensions are more corporeal, more physical, and the higher dimensions above us are less corporeal, more ethereal. They're all real, they're all tangible, they're all physical. But relative to each other, when you go to a higher dimension, it is physical there. When you are there, you are physical in that higher dimension. When you go to a lower dimension, you are physical there. When you are tuned to it. But if we go to a higher dimension tuned as we are, it seems ethereal to us. If we go to a lower dimension with the same tuning as we are now, then we appear ethereal to them because we're a higher dimension. So there would be a mechanical way of changing dimensions and a spiritual way of tuning yourself to that frequency, which is how it's meant to be done. The point of singularity in the center of a magnet, when you have a lot of matter, such as in black holes or galaxies, the matter being funneled into the singularity is crushed, and that it generates matter, it generates energy, and it spews it out. And you see these in galactic jets, these huge trails of energy and gas and light streaming out of these black holes. This is the creation of matter. This is a frequency. The oscillation of the magnetic field out of one pole and back into the other pole, which is the same point of singularity, but it's out of one side and into the other, on the other side of the magnetic field. It goes around the magnetic field and back in the other side. And it does that repeatedly, loop after loop after loop. This creates a frequency. This frequency is analogous to all frequencies in existence. Anywhere you see rhythmic motion, this is life and death. This is sunrise and sunset. This is year in, year out. This is the 26,000 year precessional cycle. The act of sex is rhythmic and has a frequency to it, which ends with ejaculation, which is the same as the creation of matter, as the galactic jets spewing out endless streams of particles. The particles be the same as the seed, the sperm. It's all analogous. These are all pictures of everything else. It's all fractal design. Reincarnation is a cycle where each life is an oscillation of the frequency. And as our soul progresses and grows and grows and grows, that frequency intensifies. We, as the light does, surpasses our own capacitance or our existence here. And as light becomes matter, when it exceeds its own capacitance to be light, it transcends into physical matter. Then so it is when we exceed our capacitance for physical existence, we transform into our spirit self or our star form in a cosmic awareness. That's our cosmic entity, our cosmic being. We become a cosmic being at that point. That is the point of birth. That's what we should strive for. All right, I guess I will cut it off here. I will talk to you later. Until then, take it easy.